What's up, everybody? So I want to do a tutorial for Drive All Over Town by Elliott, and it's been a while, but yeah, I don't know, let's just get right into it. So I'm tuned down a full step. He is not for this song. He would be capo on the first fret, so sorry if that's a little bit confusing, but everything's gonna be relative to the capo, so just pretend that this is the first fret anyways. Alright, so the way I have done this is that I wanted to get it as close to the recording as possible. So I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with some of the chords. I'm not just going to be like, oh, this is a B minor, right? Because has two guitar tracks and they're overlapping at times to create some sounds that are kind of hard to create on a single guitar. So with that in mind, it really is only like two chords that are like that. I think this one's the most hard to get perfect, but there is a way, right? So he starts with this B minor chord, and before we do that, let's just talk about the rhythm of the song, which is this. Now, I've seen some tutorials teaching the rhythm as this, but let me sound a little bit funny for a second. The rhythm is it's not so if you can hear those two, it doesn't really matter. It's still like pet peeve of mine, but yeah, that's the rhythm. Anyways, so the way he plays his first part, to get it as close to the recording as possible, is you play this B minor, and when you go to do this note, because he goes right. So originally I was just moving my middle finger over, which you could play it this way and it's a little bit easier. And that sounds fine, but if you want to play it the other way, you first play this chord, and then you bar down and use your pinky instead. So you're doing, and you just go back to the regular one. And this sounds better when you transition from this chord into the A7, because it's like 7th into a 7th. But anyways, so let's go over the first chords. Now that that weird one is out of the way, we'll just say it's B minor, and I'll give you the actual like the number notation for it. So the regular B minor is 2-4-4-3-0, and this other one is 2-4-2-3-0. So I'm gonna play like that. Anyways, so you do that twice of that weird chord switch, and then you go to an A7, and then you just do this. I actually normally play it like this, and then you slide into this strange G something. I'm like, in the description it's gonna be G question mark, and it's 3-5-3-4-6, and then a C chord, which is 3-5-0-5-0. You don't play the E, so the 3 is on the A. And then, so that repeats 4 times from the $2 color pictures. So that's that first verse. And then after that, we get to the pre-chorus. So if I can go into that, let's see, I'll just play like just into the pre-chorus. You can hear how it would go. And then you would say, look at him smiling. So that's that part. Look at him smile. Yeah, I'll just play through it. Yeah, so the way this part goes is there's some strange chords. So the first one is this E chord, right? And you don't play the open, and this is 0-2-2-4-3. The next chord, this one's another one of those weird ones because of the two guitars. So let me explain. So if you want to do an easy version, just a G flat 7, and you don't play the open E, and that's easy. It sounds right. You know, you could just do. It just sounds good, you know. Or now, according to the recording, right, he's playing an open E, right, which is very hard to get if you're playing this, because you're going to hit the open B, and he doesn't play an open B. So the way I do it is, my version is 2x4-3-2-0. That's just, it like gives it that bigger feeling, like he's with the two guitars, right? So it'd be, next chord is this, he's basically muting everything except these two and the G. But this is, it's like a G major. It's 3x07xx. So it's like, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's like he's not really playing any notes. And it goes to this A7, just for that one little, and then it goes to this chord. And this is this like B flat chord or something. It's X10330. And then goes back to the. So when he goes back from this pre-chorus, for the only the times right before the second verse, he just goes through the song, the verse chords one time without any lyrics. It's like a pre-verse like section. And then you would say, so that's, you know, so now you're here, and again, it's just 4 times through these chords just to get through the whole verse. And you get the same, you get right to the pre-chorus again. When it's 3 a.m., you wonder where she went. Now, when you get to the Drive All Over Town, the chords change a bit for this section, but it's all the same chords now. We're just repeating until the outro. So it's and then it goes to the E. So the chords for this section are the B minor, A7, and then the E chord that we just learned, into this G major chord. And then he does it again. Now on the third version, he just kind of strums a little bit more, but it's still the same. And then he only strums more for just the first, for the B minor chord. And then one more time. And then when he says it's like the outro, until he tracks her down. So for this chord, it's a new one. It's a G flat. I'm gonna list it as G flat 7-2 in the description, and it is 2x4350. So, and then so yeah, he goes to this one until he tracks her, and then it's this G major chord again. He'll drive all over, and then when he says town, he just plays the B minor, and that's the outro. So that's the whole entire song. It's not too complicated. I think it was just, it took me longer to learn it than I thought. And yeah, so let me know if you need me to break anything down a little bit further, or if I went too fast or too slow. And let me know if I got anything wrong. Maybe you know the song better than I do, and I would love to be corrected, because I want to get it as right as possible. Yeah, I hope that helps. Any feedback is appreciated, and helps me make a better tutorial in the future. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching and sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.